Content creation is challenging and life is even more challenging. What really keeps you going even when you don't see the results you wish for? This is a question that one of my good friends asked when I put up a post on my WhatsApp status saying, hey, ask me a question. I'm going to answer a question. I'm going to answer using a video. So this is it. I already did one. I did that one. And then I added it in not like a part two, but like some context to the video. And I love this exercise because it gets me to think and share what I believe, and just knowing that I'm talking to somebody who has asked this particular question just gets me all excited. And it's one thing to throw videos in the void of the internet, but it's another thing to know that somebody is actually asking this question because they want to know. So in my mind, I'm talking to him right now. So I hope you're watching. And so if you have any questions, please ask the questions, find me anywhere, send the questions, and just let me know, hey, I want you to make a video about this. Was XYZ? Just ask the question. I'll make a video. So let me read the question again. Content creation is challenging. Anybody who has started creating content who doesn't tell you at some point that it's challenging has not started creating content. Which is why when anybody comes to me and wants to start creating content, one of my first things that I tell them usually is use what you have. Don't buy anything, right? Use your phone. Use okay, you want to get some light, film during the day, find a quiet place. Just start. And here's why. Content creation is more of a mindset game than an equipment game. I think anybody can create content. I think everybody should create content. But the mindset that is required to be a consistent content creator, C3, there's a shift that happens when you realize, man, this is going to be tough. I like it. Versus, man, this is going to be tough. I'm out of here. And you need to get to that space quickly before you start buying equipment, buying gear, buying lights, and buying all these things, paying for software, and then before you realize, like, yeah, I'm out of here. So content creation is challenging, can be challenging. And it's even more challenging when you're doing it on top of things like being a parent, having a full-time job. Now, it's not impossible. People have done it. People are able to do the two, right? Being able to find your sweet spot of, hey, listen, I want to create content, but I'm not going to kill myself or make one video a month. I'm good with it. I don't want to make this into a business. I don't want to make it monetize. I like making videos and I want to do it for my love of videos. Cool, that's you. But I want to be like 70 to 80%, maybe 90% of people have at the back of their mind like, bro, if this thing worked, I could quit my job. I could just create content for the rest of my life. It's totally okay. Listen, let me tell you, if I could make content for a living, I would. But I'll still get a job because I sort of like my job right now. I actually enjoy the people that I work with and what I do. However, if I could just do this, talk like this, answer questions and get paid for it, yeah, job, do what I really enjoy, get paid, job is going to go away. I hope my boss is not watching this. But content creation is challenging. That's a good thing that my boss needs to know because it's going to take a while for me to get to that point. Or is it? So, and life is even more challenging. That's a good point. Life is challenging because life has its ups and downs. Everybody has to pay bills. To say the only two things that are right in life, death and taxes. So everybody has to deal with life. Sometimes you get up and you're tired. You don't want to go to work. Sometimes you finish work and then you have to do the laundry. Worse, if you're in Cameroon or Africa where we don't have washing machines. Which, quick side note, I was talking to my wife the other day about how we have washing machines, dishwashers, and all these things. I find it difficult to be lazy now because when I think of what I had to do when I was younger to wash clothes and dry clothes, here, carry it, put in a machine and press a button. I have no right to be lazy. I have no right to be unproductive. Literally, I can press a button, clothes get washed, I carry it, put it inside, press the button, it dries. Okay, I'll pay electricity and pay for, all that stuff. Bottom line is that life has its challenges, and depending on where you are in the journey of life, in your living conditions, in your marital conditions, in your parenting journey, each person has their challenges. Everybody has a challenge. So 1000% correct. Content creation is challenging. Life is even more challenging. So here is a question now. What really keeps you going even when you don't see the results you wish for? I had to pray about this because I was like, why am I even going? Why do I keep creating content? Why have I not quit? Why have I not, just stopped and given up? Why have I not just focused on building my tech career and just becoming a C-suite professional? I mean, I could probably become a manager. I could grow to a level where I have people that I manage. When I look at an alternate timeline where I grow in my career, I become a VP of technology somewhere. I have a team under me, multiple teams under me. I become a consultant in a consulting firm. That's a possibility. I could seriously, if I ever chose to, become a Salesforce architect and grow my career in that. So why do you keep going? I keep going because there is no version of my life where I'm not sharing the things that God has done for me and through me. And when I look at my life and I look at how things have played out so far, the gifts that God has put in my heart, my skills, right? The way that I talk, how I love to read, how I love stories, the way that I think, the way that I like to analyze things, how I come up with ideas. I keep going because I haven't seen any other career path, like life career path, that would use me more than content creation. I could be a teacher and I would still be creating content. I could be a speaker and I would still be creating content. I could be a dad and I would still be creating content. I don't see any area, any part of my life where I'm not sharing what I'm learning. I'm not talking about Jesus using the camera. I'm not sharing using text written or whatever. Because let me tell you a quick story that I don't think I've said this on the internet before. When in Form 5, when I was 15 years old, let me back up a little bit. In Cameroon, and I think other Francophone schools or schools that have Anglo-Saxon education, in Form 5, which I think is probably middle school or I don't know, whatever grade that is, just before you get to high school, you have to decide whether you're going to do the arts or the sciences. I knew I wanted to do the arts. I was sure that I wanted to do A1, History, Literature, French. That was what I wanted to do. I loved that. When I proposed it to my parents were like, bro, you had great results in Form 5. You had 6 A's, 5 B's. We think you should do the sciences. You have more career opportunities. You seem to be able to handle it well. We think you should do that. They even went a step further and actually got me to see a counselor who basically said the same thing. Like, listen, you're a smart young man, do the sciences. And I was like, hey, my parents are right. So I did. That began a series of events that I have talked about multiple points, but both good and bad, that ended me doing sciences and doing journalism, and a lot of things happened. But the one event that happened in lower set science was that my discipline master at the time, Mr. Chia Eugene, picked me from the science class to give a talk at the Parent Teacher Association on PTA, which was Parent Teacher Association / Visiting Saturday. I was in boarding school, visiting Saturdays. Side note, please, if you're watching this and you have boarding school stories, I've been thinking of a project and I want to work with somebody who has a lot of these stories. Hit me up. Let's figure it out. So back to the story. He picked me from the science class and I did that talk. I wrote this speech, I memorized it. I still picture myself standing in front of the teachers, holding my microphone. There's a picture of me like this. I was nervous. I was vibrating, so I had to hold myself and hold the mic. And he didn't say anything after that. He just picked me, did that, and then left. But for me, that was like a moment in time. I was like, man, I can do this. I can talk in public. And if I go back to class 7, I performed Mr. Nobody, which let me do. Mr. Nobody was a poem in class 7 that goes something like this. I know a funny little man as quiet as a mouse who does the mischief that is done in everybody's house. There's no one ever sees his face, and yet we all agree that every plate we break was cracked by Mr. Nobody. It is he who always tears our books, who leaves our doors ajar. He pulls the buttons from our shirts and scatters pins at. You know what? That's part of the poem. Memorized it. I was how old? I was like 8, 7. But yeah, in upper seat, I was like, I took the most articulate student. So why am I bringing all of this? And how is this? It's not just to brag, right? I really want you to think about the fact that if you look at your life, you will see a thread, signs of who God has called you to be. You will see the different things that you did that stood out, that people were in awe, and you were not trying so hard to do those things. If you can identify those things, those are the things that God has called you to do. Me, I know that God has called me to speak. And what keeps me going is that is my assignment. And whether I am inconsistent on YouTube, whether it's one person who watches or 2 people who send the questions, whether nobody leaves comments. I mean, I complain to my wife every day about it. Let me not lie. I'd like, oh, nobody's watching my videos. So she just, and I do it like half-heartedly because I sort of really want people to comment. But also, when people are not commenting, it's because I've not done a good video for them to comment. That's just it. Like if I do a video that is well done, well-structured, hook, all that stuff, people will comment. It's happened before, right? So I know that the reason why I don't get the engagement that I could get is because I'm not doing my job to actually improve and craft my content well, which again is what I'm working on. So to answer the question, which I feel like I have, but I have not, what keeps me going, even though I don't see the results I wish for, is because I don't really think I have. The results that I want require me to grow into the kind of person who gets those results. And because I know that I've not yet become that person, I'm not really concerned about those results. If I was that person, if I was a person who could write a good YouTube script very quickly, who could articulate his ideas without thinking, who could have the vocabulary to speak and enunciate and provide the right examples at the right time, if I was that person, I'll be concerned. But because I am becoming that person, I'm not that concerned. My job is to show up every day to the best of my ability at that time, do my assignment, and go back and get better. So every time that I post a video, I'm taking one step in that direction. Every time that I put up a piece of content, I'm taking one step in that direction. And that's really my encouragement to you. If you're not getting the results that you think that you wish for, ask yourself, are you the person who should be getting those results? Because there's this great illustration. A millionaire is first one in his mind before he actually gets $1 million in the bank. If not, he will lose that money, or she will lose that money quickly. You become a millionaire in your mind, in your behavior, in your attitude, because that is what will make you to get it and to keep it, right? So for me, as someone who wants to get 1 million subscribers, I have to become the kind of person who acts like someone has 1 million subscribers, who thinks like someone has 1 million subscribers, who operates like someone has 1 million subscribers. If I'm still active in place of 10,000 subscribers, then I'll get a 10,000 subscriber result, right? And I'm still I'm at 6,000 subscribers. I'm at 6,000 subscribers right now. What I'm trying to say is everything I wish for requires me to become that person. And so until I become that person, I cannot afford to wish for it. And so all I have to do is to become that person. And that person does what? That person is consistent. He shows up every day. He speaks well. He's articulate. He provides value. He solves problems. He knows business. He has knowledge. He understands mental models. He's ready to coach. He's ready to teach. The person that I am becoming has all these things. And all I can do is just show up every day until I become that person. So that's how I keep going, because if I stop, then I never become that person. So don't stop. Don't stop your journey. Don't stop the walk. Don't stop seeking God on your path, because He will direct your steps. He will bless your plans. He will give you the increase. Don't stop putting the effort. Don't stop learning. Don't stop growing. And don't stop looking at your past to see that thread, the ways that God has showed up for you. There are hints in your past to who you're going to become. And I'm very confident that if you take the time to think about it, you'll get it. Bro, this was a great question, man. I love the question. I appreciate you asking the question. And it's encouraging to me, because the more I talk about it, the more it's like I'm even getting the answers to my own questions. Like I'm getting encouraged to make more videos, right? So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for watching all of this. My name is Kamga, and I'm honored that you're taking the time to do this. I'll see you in the next one. God loves you. All right? Take care.